Hello, everybody. My name is Cale. Welcome to another episode of the Weekly Tall Talk. If you're new here, we set up a topic every week for our show, and we dive into that topic with either a would you rather or a short story. This week, we have a would you rather. But before we get to that, I have to talk to two of the best co-hosts I've ever known.
Oh.
And that's saying a lot because there's many.
That's
over
true.
The years.
It's a rotating cast.
In my own mind. Yeah. Exactly. Just ship out everybody, bring in new, it's just a revolving door. Speaking of that, how are you doing tonight, Corey?
Oh, man, I'm doing okay. I'm a little congested, as you might be able to hear on the microphone. I've been sick since we got back from our awesome vacation, which was great and then not so great. But it's okay because I've been just fucking loaded on Robitussin and straight vodka. So I'm doing all right, man. It'll probably kick in sometime during the show. But before I get too off track, Xavier, how you doing, dude?
Yep.
I'm good, man. Good. Sorry to hear that you're under the weather, but getting better. I hope,
Oh yeah, dude. The alcohol and the drugs help.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
It's a perfect concoction. You
I'm mostly unconscious.
Hey, you need rest.
Yes,
gotta heal.
I gotta get it somehow.
Impossible.
Yeah,
right.
But I'm good, dude. Trying to stay cool. It was hot again today.
But
doing pretty good. How about yourself, Cale? Our esteemed host.
Yeah, the host with the most.
Esteemed. Damn. Flattery will get you everywhere. But I have to pick on one of you. There's no third option right now. So sorry, guys. But I'm doing well. I was hanging out with Debbie earlier. Just had some dinner and I was watching Shark Week.
Shark Week. Nice.
Reruns, I guess, because it was on Max. It was from the COVID times. But
yeah,
we were watching Shark Week. So that put me in a feisty mood. So we'll see how this goes.
So you're out for blood is what you're telling us.
Interesting.
I always am.
Good.
It's the bloodlust just never leaves my body.
No, it's what really drives the show forward.
It's always there.
I think so. The perpetual violence and the crimes that I talk about
the
perpetrating, hypothetical, of course.
Right.
There's no proof or evidence or anything out there. I've been sure of that. So,
and that probably won't lead up to the topic for this show, right?
Oh yeah, no, there's no way. All right, enough chit chat, guys. It's time to get down to the nitty gritty.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
All right. This week's Would You Rather: erase your own memories, but in doing so, it would cause you to have a harder time making new memories. So your short-term memories would be much harder to hold on to the more that you erase.
Okay.
So that's part one.
Okay.
Or erase someone else's memories, but in doing so, you take on the memories of that person that you took. So whenever you take something from that person, you now carry that memory inside yourself.
Do we become a little bit like them each memory we take?
We're just reliving it.
I mean, it would just add to you as a person and help you grow spiritually, emotionally, scar you probably.
Well, could I if I took somebody's entire life and forgot my own life, could I effectively be that person?
Corey, you're talking about identity theft, and we don't condone that here.
Oh, no.
We're a LifeLock family.
Get the disclaimer in there. Get the disclaimer.
Brought to you by LifeLock.
So essentially, you have two choices. Shocking. Take your own and suffer the consequences of not being able to form new memories the more you use it. Mm-hmm. Or take someone else's and erase somebody else's memory, but then now you're stuck with that memory and reliving it yourself. So with those two options, right off the bat, what are you leaning towards, Xavier, with those two terrible things? Man,
yeah, that's interesting. I like this these two would you rathers. I think for myself, I'm going to walk a dangerous game here. I'm going to choose. Erasing my own memories.
Okay.
No, here we go. The dark past is coming out, Corey. Finally, the vault is open.
So I'm going to choose that. That negative effect of making it harder to create new memories. That would be something to tread carefully upon that path.
Right. Yeah. I think that'd make you very, very selective with what you can live with and what you can't.
Exactly. Really think long and hard about that, because then you might not be able to think later on.
At all. Who am I? I don't know.
Would you chalk that up to advanced age or your ability to just erase your own memories?
Oh, not being able to think?
Yeah,
Or remember
remember
things?
or create new short-term memories, because that sounds like problems we already have.
This is true. What show is this?
Huh?
What is this? Who are you?
Wait, what are we doing again?
Who's this on the TV?
What the hell? That is a dangerous game. I did not expect you to choose that one, and to be fully honest with you.
He's got demons to hide, Cale. That's why he laughs all the time.
I gotta banish them. Banish them from my head.
Yeah.
Just get out.
Just put
I
that in the
cast
vault.
you out.
I don't know. Corey, what about you?
All right, listen, hear me out. I would erase other people's memories. And not because I'm inherently an evil person, but because I just am an evil person.
God.
I wasn't born this way. I was made, blah, blah, blah.
Right. I'm the subject of my circumstances and, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. Whatever fits the narrative you need for me to live.
Just put that in there.
Yeah, I would
the crocodile tears are flowing.
I would pretend, I think that I would want to use this for good, but ultimately I'd just be like a spy or something, like a triple agent. I would work for myself and every other government.
Damn.
Yeah.
The ultimate PMC.
Absolutely, dude. The mercenary of all mercenaries.
That's true, man.
You met me. You gave me some info. I erased me from your memory. That's the best way to live.
So you made the trade? What trade?
Yeah, what trade? You'd be the most sought after agent, but also
hot commodity right there.
Oh, yeah.
Both ways, hunted and sought after for services.
Oh, no. See, here's the thing. I would erase the memories of everybody who hired me, too. So they would have the information they wanted. They just wouldn't know how they got it or why they wanted it.
Damn, you could have some sick ass name like the Smoke or the Phantom.
Ooh, the Smoking Phantom.
The Spectre. Ooh, damn. Cool ass operator name.
That's a pretty good code name.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it. Operator name. The Spectre.
The Spectre.
Spectre.
Scary as hell.
When I'm just surrounded in marijuana and tobacco smoke.
Yeah. It's literally just a bong rip and then you appear.
That's how you call me, dude.
Yeah. Rip a fat bong hit and then you're just like, what do you need?
The 420
What are you
genie.
buying?
Hey, you need somebody killed?
I'm here, brother.
Ripping a huge bong hit.
Ripping one. What do you need?
Listen, I live on the edge. Not like you'd know. That's an inside joke. It's for me. What do you want?
Doesn't concern you. I'm talking aloud, not at you.
And erased.
That's it.
But what about you, Cale? Are you going to join me and become the ultimate CIA agent?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
nice.
Okay.
My demons have made me into the monster I am, and I like who I am. So I will ride with it, and I will add more demons to my brain from other people because I'll help the shit out of you.
From other people.
No, I definitely think being able to tap into other people's memories and erase them or take them, or for good or for bad, would be a trip. Yeah. I should probably preface how that happens, so we have a little bit more clear picture of how Xavier messed up with not choosing this.
Exactly.
So in our minds, we made this so this ability is by touch. I mean, if you're erasing your own mind, like Xavier's going to do with a bottle of whatever alcohol he has,
Robitussin and vodka. Let me tell you.
Yeah, there you go. That's the chef's recommendation.
I don't remember the last 4 days.
Going Tussin.
Damn, the concoction. But it's by touch, and that could be in passerby. That could be consensual, where someone comes to you and gives you their hand, or if you're in passerby, you touch your elbow to them, or you touch their shoulder, or whatever means is just by physical touch. This process of being able to dive into people's memories and see their thoughts, their core stuff, everything is about as quick as you can form a thought in your head is about the amount of real time that this interaction will take place. But it's obviously super slowed down when you have that like neuro link.
So I can touch somebody on the shoulder and take as their memories as quickly as it takes me to actually form a thought. So like nearly instantaneously.
Right
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Cool.
I'll preface this by saying you can't like mind wipe somebody. You can't like factory reset.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
So
Yeah, I know.
you
You're
know,
thinking you just want to
All right.
make a bunch of drone zombies running around, but we're not going to let you have the satisfaction.
Damn it.
Nah, not this time.
just
But,
liquefying people's brains.
Yeah, and when you're shifting through people's memories, especially when it's like a millisecond and it's time to slow down all the way, I figured it would be like broken down into categories of how their memories are stored: good, bad, important information, crucial stuff, things like that. So you'd be able to kind of navigate and sift through all that stuff to be able to find what you were after, I guess, in terms of helping them or harming them. It's easy. It's user friendly.
Wow, the UI is great on this.
It's great, man. The operating system.
Does that work the same for Xavier? Like, if he like touches his own mind, does he see like a hollow projected like printout mapping of his mind, and he can just like look for things he wants to
Start
delete?
filing through.
Yeah,
That sounds sick. Yeah, but in doing so, maybe you would open the door for more negative stuff, Xavier. Stuff that you've completely blacked out of your mind would be now restored because you're sifting through all of your memories like an open frame network, like Corey's talking about. So it's all your forgotten stuff is just now brought right to the forefront. You're like, oh no, that's gone. Reset, delete
Delete that.
delete. So, given that, yeah, I definitely think it's just would be too much fun to get into other people's brains.
How often can we do this for both options? Is this like I can touch like hundreds of people a day and wipe their memories? Or like, is it just one time? Is there like a reset?
I feel for both, it's kind of up to the person. It would depend on like your mental durability, because with Xavier, he could erase as much as he wants, but moving forward, like you said, it's kind of that slippery slope of, now your new memories are at risk. So it depends kind of, I guess, how much he wants to risk not being able to form stuff, especially having your daughter or your wife. I mean, if you have new stuff going forward, you want to remember that, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
So got to be careful with that. And for you and I, Corey, in our situation, we're taking on those memories and reliving them and then storing them in our brain.
Yeah.
So I guess it's as much as you could handle. I would imagine your brain would get a critical mass at some point.
Yeah.
But we're both messed up in the head anyway. So maybe we have extra storage. We paid for that up front.
We're here for a good time, not for a long time.
True.
There you
go. So,
and a lot of our good times involve
person.
other people's good times that we can appropriate to make ours.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when you got married in the Bahamas? Yeah, man, I remember. It's great.
It's gorgeous. My first quinceañera, my third quinceañera. Fantastic.
Exactly. Damn, we had like 10 sweet 16s. Amazing.
Isn't quinceañera 15?
Back.
Come on, Cale, keep up.
No, I said sweet 16s. That's different.
Oh, so we'll take quinceañeras and sweet 16s. Got it.
We're stealing everything.
Damn, we're coming for your memories. I don't think
you're getting the grasp of what we're going for. We're going for total just domination of every spectacle.
Yeah, what's another coming of age? Bar mitzvahs. We're coming for your bar mitzvahs too. And your
bat mitzvahs. We're coming. No one's safe.
No one's safe
from the mind melters. Yeah, so I guess long way back to your original question, it depends on the person, how much we can take, how much you can stand. I guess it's probably a very individualistic approach. Xavier could just wipe his whole mind and just go to sleep.
Just sleep forever.
Never remember anything. Never have another problem in his life.
I think I'm going to take a nap.
I think I'm in a hard reset on this one.
Yeah,
sleep for the next 30 years.
Who are you?
Yeah, it says in his will, he says he's taking a, quote, forever nap. I don't know what that means, but.
So don't wake me up.
What? Yeah. Don't wake me.
Before you go.
Maybe you can catch some Z's. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe you can catch some Z's during these ads, Xavier. We need a break.
Yeah, we do.
Hi, folks. My name is Corey Andre, creator and host of the Weekly Tall Talk. I would like to say thank you for listening to today's episode. If you like what you've been hearing, we would love to know what you think. After the episode, don't forget to leave a comment or reach out to us on our socials, where you can find us at The Weekly Tall Talk. We're excited to say that we're working on a couple other awesome projects for this year. If you would like to know more about that or find out what else we're working on, we have a Patreon and Discord that you can subscribe to, where we can be found at Tall Tale Network. And if you have any other questions or ideas for what you'd like us to discuss on the show, please email us at talltalenetwork@gmail.com.
Welcome back from those ads. We're going to be doing another dive into our own minds, the scariest dive of all.
Oh, God, I don't want to go there. That's why I wanted to relive other people's memories.
That's what I'm saying. But Xavier had to be selfish once again, like he always is.
Okay, let's talk about Xavier's power then. Fine.
Yeah, exactly. God damn. Every day with this guy, it's something new. I'm going to forget about him.
It's all about me.
It's about me. And it will be about you for this one.
Yeah.
So obviously for this segment, we're going to be going with erase your own memories, but at your risk of not having new memories. And I had a couple of follow-up questions about that I wanted to get into.
Okay.
And the first one is, if you change your memories, would that change you at your core? Our memories and situations and experiences, really, especially when we're younger, are very formative to the people we've become.
Right.
Now that we're older. Yeah. And I wonder, when we were writing this, we came to this conclusion, would that change you, not having these dramatic or obviously very altering experiences happen to you? Would you still be the same person or act a certain way if you forgot those memories? What do you think, Xavier?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the memories that you're trying to get rid of, or if they're bad memories. I could see it changing because, like I said, as we've grown up, we've developed and we remember things from our past, and it just helps us like learn and grow. You know, whether it's like mistakes that we've come across, we learn from them, or certain encounters that we've had that maybe had a negative effect on us, and like, oh, I don't want to have that happen again. So I'll consciously think of ways to change something like that, or change how to respond to a situation that was uncomfortable or I didn't like, or that was hostile or something. And then there's all these different experiences accumulate in your head as you grow older and stuff. And so I guess, if you start deleting some of those things, you're like, I don't like this memory. I got into this fist fight. I don't care for it. I'm just going to block it out.
Right. It's done.
And then put something else, something similar that happens later on in life, and you forgot how you handled it in the past, and you're just like, oh, this is new to me. Shit. Yeah, you just repeat the same thing.
Yeah, I think there's definite potential for that. For you do not like a situation, yet you do it again. You're like, oh, okay, I'll just erase this, and then you do it again a week later. Yeah, you're really running out of a storage room at that point.
Yeah, it seems like you can set yourself up to constantly fail.
Constantly repeat the same mistake.
So in doing that, do you think that like you would abuse the mind erasure enough to just change you as a person at your core? Because like if you're let's say you're in a toxic relationship, let's just say that. Cale, say it.
I am in a toxic relationship.
No, Xavier's in a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Oh, Xavier, you are in a very toxic relationship.
Okay, so it's good that we're saying that, Xavier. But like, if you're in a relationship where you argue with somebody like more than necessary or at all, and you erase those memories of the argument itself, you're not really learning. You're not taking anything away from that. In fact, you're eliminating yourself from any sort of responsibility for your actions. So like,
that's true.
I think, to answer Cale's question a bit, that it would change you at your core, because you wouldn't, I would want to take away the negative stuff more and more frequently as my life went on. I wouldn't want to have those memories stuck with me. Do you think that would be the same for you, Xavier, in this toxic relationship that we're telling you you're in?
Outside looking in, of course. Outside looking in. No.
No, yeah.
Brittany, we love you if you're listening to this.
Yeah, this is a joke. It's a joke.
Nothing to do with you. No, yeah. If that's a good point. The way you put it, you're not taking away. You're not learning from anything if you're just going to constantly dish those horrible or uncomfortable memories that you don't like. Mm-hmm. I think if you're going to perpetually be doomed to repeat the same thing over and over, or just not learn, not grow anywhere. Right. In that aspect. I agree with that. And I also think that in a way you're opening yourself up to the potential of reopening a wound. Say you're in a committed relationship. It comes out that
I'm in a committed relationship. Man, that felt
with Robitussin.
That felt real fucking good to say.
Hey, man, I like it. Let's get more of that. But I definitely think you can say that other person left you heartbroken. You're still in the relationship, right? But you're saying, "Oh, I'll just erase this." But the next time it comes out that this person is unfaithful, wouldn't it hit you just as hard as you did the first time? So you're perpetually, if that argument happens, or you just say, "Oh, I'm going to forget about it and I never want to talk about it again," maybe you skate through. But if it does come out again, don't you experiencing that heartbreak and that total just earth-shattering news again?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's potential to relive it. Like you said, making the same mistake, but also if it's not your mistake, you could still relive terrible stuff in a relationship aspect, or even in a friendship, something like that, like a betrayal or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you had to bring up the betrayal.
The betrayal.
Sorry, man. I can't help it. I can't erase it.
I wish I could.
Heresy.
I wish I could. It's called a hammer to the face.
Well, that's how I erase you.
A hammer smash face.
Oh, right.
Yeah, if your face is gone, then you're not actually there.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, if you're able to, because I'm thinking like we're born with this power.
Yeah.
Like, how do you think that you would be able to cope with life being able to get rid of that responsibility, especially as like even as like a child, where you don't want to admit to doing something wrong out of fear of punishment, whatever that punishment may be, and then you would form that memory of, I don't like the negativity of the action that I did, so going forward, I'm just going to get rid of those things. Like,
oh yeah,
would you effectively just be this kind of a shell of a person at that point?
I think so, because I speaking from just straight up honesty, I feel like I would it would make it inherently easier for me to be a terrible person, because I could just be like, I'll just take that right away.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can go into any situation saying no matter what the outcome is or how badly I act or what I put myself through, I will forget it.
Yeah.
Versus having to sit with your consequences. I mean, other people will still know, but you'll be like,
it wasn't me.
I don't remember that. Wasn't me. I don't remember that. You sure you weren't dreaming?
It wasn't me.
Super gaslight everybody.
Yeah.
You sure? I saw you.
You sure about that?
I feel like, sure about that. I feel like I would remember that. But
that was you.
Yeah, I mean, you would be a shell because it's a get out of jail free card forever. I mean, you ultimately will pay a price later with not being able to form new memories, but you could just like say, hey, no matter what happens, I'll forget about this.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be all right.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't hold yourself accountable if you don't remember what you did.
Well, and then we're saying like with this, you have possible short-term memory loss, and it's harder to form new memories the more that you erase your own memories. So like,
oh yeah,
I mean, you make it to 40 and you've done this all your life. Who really knows who you are? I don't think you would know who you are.
I don't. Yeah, I agree. If you're going off on that, just deleting things left and right, by the time you're at that age, it seems like it'd be hard to understand who you are as a person.
Yeah, you would have gaps in your memory for your entire life.
And then you can't form new ones. You're just kind of like stuck.
But at least you think that you're like the best person that you know. Because you got rid of all the dirty shit that you did.
You got the other things like, I am squeaky clean, man.
Everyone around you
I never
just
messed up not one time, not a smudge on my record, buddy. But speaking of that, Xavier, you said you mentioned being stuck, and it's brought up a thought that we had earlier. And it was like, if you're not able to make those new memories, say you've wasted all your space, you didn't buy the iCloud update, you're full.
It's only $3 a month, Xavier. You got to give.
It's only 3 months. You got it, man. You got that kind of bread. I know. But let's say you didn't do that. You were being cheap.
Yeah.
You were being hella cheap, and now it's over. Effectively, like not being able to make new memories. Are you just stuck where you're at?
Yeah,
you're just frozen in time, basically, right? I mean, at that point.
Yeah. It seems like you'd be frozen in time at that. If you're already kind of cursed yourself by deleting your memories, and then now it's like you're at this point where you can't create more, or you have a really hard time socking away new memories. I think you've kind of screwed yourself there.
Yeah, you're basically done. It's like there would be, you wouldn't know this because obviously you can't form new memories because of what you've done to yourself. But
Xavier.
There would be, Xavier, you did this to yourself.
I did.
But looking forward, there would be no anticipation for life moving forward, because there's nothing you're really looking forward to if you can't even hold on to a memory to look forward to something.
Yeah.
That's you would affect. Yeah. It seems like you'd ultimately freeze yourself in time.
Yeah. Cause like you're saying, like we have this power as we're developing. And I think that by the time you understand consequence and action around your mid-teens, that would be where you stop developing, because then you can forgive yourself of all consequence from action.
Right. And let's say that, you didn't know that this was a double-edged sword.
Right.
So as you're doing it, you're saying, I can get rid of all these things, not knowing the consequences that are going to come later.
Right.
And, you could frivolously use this for any argument you get into, or any kind of inconvenience. You use that enough, you just like definitely screw yourself not being, because one of the first things you brought up, Xavier, was being very conscious of how much you use this. Yeah. If you don't have that awareness to even say, this is going to be bad later, I better watch it. What would be able to stop you from having like anything negative just go out of your head, and you're just like the Truman Show, like nothing can go wrong?
Yeah, there's always like there's a certain tipping point where it's like I've gone too far and there's no going back, because I won't know what I've done, because I keep forgetting and erasing everything.
It wasn't me.
I didn't do this.
There it is.
So let's flip it a little bit, because we've been pretty negative like normal. How Xavier, walk us through the pros of this. How would you personally be using this to benefit your life? Forgetting your own memories.
It is kind of a selfish thing to think about when you think about it like that, because if I'm using this to get rid of bad memories, maybe it's something that I constantly think about over and over again, and I hate it coming up, or just popping up in my head.
You hate the ruminations, the idea that you fucked up a long time ago, and it comes back when you're doing dishes, and you're like, why did I say that thing when I was 15 years old to that one person? I fucking hate myself. Like that kind of stuff.
It's just little weird things like that just pop up randomly in your head.
Right.
Could be an interaction
crap.
Like exactly like how you said, Corey, like you're 15 or 16 or whatever. It's at any stage in your life, it's like something happened. It sticks with you. It's weird how your brain remembers certain things.
Yeah.
If it's like an awkward situation, or it's just
it's like I don't want this.
It's just weird. It's funny how your brain just retains dumb situations. I guess this is subjective to the person. For me, I would think it'd be dumb. It's why am I remembering that? That's stupid. Why does that just randomly pops up in my head?
Yeah.
Little things like as when I picked this path, it was those kind of memories that are just like, why am I thinking about that? Just bloop, just memory hole that and be gone.
So when you think about those memories, though, and you go back to those points, because we all do that. I think every single one of us has moments in time where we think about. In saying that you would choose to selectively delete those, do you think that you would ultimately be better for those? For not remembering those, or do you think that you would change fundamentally, not having to think about the awkward times?
That's an interesting, good question. I think if this was a reality, I would imagine, I would think of it as it wouldn't phase me as much because there's such little one-off memories. It also depends on too, like, I mean, I've had some memories where, some things have happened in the past where I would love to forget it, but I don't think you can, just because of it's important to learn what's happened. That way you can see things in the future, catch things like that, see, just be, something tragic or something bad's happened in the past. And you're like, okay, I'm going to try to steer away from that. And if I do encounter that in my life, again, I at least know, hey, I've seen this before. Mm-hmm. I'll try to steer around it or avoid it or change it. But as like these little frivolous, weird, random things that would come up, it kind of makes you like, I don't know if it would change me fundamentally in the present, because I would be doing this very sparingly. And then at the time, I guess if I would have done this if I'm doing this, I would only do it a select few times. There's only like a handful of things that I can think of now that I would.
So you feel like you'd have restraint over your own.
I would have restraint. Yeah. Yeah. I think I would have restraint over that.
You know what we don't have restraint over?
Yeah, what don't we have restraint over?
These ads.
Hey, it's your boy Mason from Men of Misfortune here. We're a comedy podcast with 3 different segments. We cover anime/pop culture, true crime, and bizarre news, all while taking on some interviews. We drink, we smoke, and we know how to have a good time while making you feel like you're a part of the show. Find us anywhere you get your podcasts. And don't forget to check out our Patreon for bonus content. And for more updates, follow us on Instagram at Men of Misfortune. Remember, stay misfortunate and always listen to Mom. Now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
Welcome back. We are now moving on to the second part of the episode, the correct choice that Corey and I made. We'll leave Xavier to forget the memory of choosing wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll delete that for him so he can keep up.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. It might be your ass.
You're welcome.
As you said, you're welcome for forgetting what we're talking about.
And I'm like, what?
Huh? What are you going to say? What's the topic? No. Now's not the time. Moving on to the second portion about erasing other people's memories, but then taking them on in your own mind and having to relive those. How much could you take on of someone else's memories before your mind is kind of at the breaking point? So how much, of our own doings, our own traumas, we're not erasing anything from ourselves. So we have our whole so we have our whole database of all our thoughts, emotions, everything. And now you're adding to it as much as you want, I guess. Mm-hmm. Corey and I are pretty nefarious. So a lot of memories, I think, are going to be uploaded. So how do you think your mind's going to acclimate to that, Corey, knowing you're going to do a lot of harm?
Well, all right. So if we're talking about harming people.
No. Here we go.
I honestly, I chose this because I think this would be the one thing that you could do the most good with, to be honest. Like outside of like spying and stealing like phone codes and shit like that. Like imagine if you could be some sort of healer, maybe get some like background in psychology or therapy and walk people through their traumas, and then be able to have a session where you relieve those people of their traumas. And I think that like if you only use this power for relieving those traumas, like you could probably stay in that career for like maybe 10, 20 years before you have to get out. Because like we're saying, like you don't just get rid of them, you relive and retain those memories of the worst times in human lives that they carry with them. And I think that like saving it for that would be kind of the best thing to do for me and what I would probably choose to do.
Right.
So like I said, 10 to 20 years, I think that's about my limit. And then I would just have to vacation on the beaches of Cancun for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Because
doesn't sound too bad.
Reliving others' traumatic events constantly, or every memory that you've taken.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd really have to Green Mile a couple decades of your life.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure. I'm tired.
I'm tired. That's why I'm going to Mexico.
This is ugly, and the beach is nice. Tom Hanks, let me go. No, but I definitely agree. That was I'm going to piggyback on that, and I felt like the mental toll it would take on you. I think it is worth the rewarding feeling of absolving people.
What a great way to put that.
Yeah, absolving people of things that maybe weren't their fault. Remorse for things, guilt, tragedy, things like that. I would kind of have to gauge it myself. If it's just you being an asshole and you want to forget it, I'm not wasting my memory space with that.
Yeah.
I would be kind of selective, but like I said, when we went through this before, you can kind of break it down, kind of see all these memories before you do anything. Mm-hmm. You can kind of really evaluate somebody. Whether it's somebody you feel worthy is kind of not the nicest term to use, but like, is it worth using part of my gift that, like you said, a limited amount of times? Is it worth helping this person versus someone else who's been through something worse that wasn't their fault or is no fault of their own?
Right.
Yeah, I feel like that would play a big part of my thing.
Because it's a big thing.
Who I would choose to help.
Yeah, because that's a big thing that you got to choose, or taking a memory would be that's a huge choice and a huge. I think you're just literally taking a chunk out of someone's brain, essentially, or not chunk, but like you're taking that memory away. So,
absolutely.
I wonder you'd have to really evaluate. Yeah, you'd have to really evaluate. Like, is this really going to help that individual if I take this memory from them, or do they want that? Like, do they want to forget that?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But then I guess like what Corey was saying, going through therapy, talking to the individual and working with them, and like you can come to an ultimatum like, hey, I can help you forget that. If you really want that, I can take that on from you.
Exactly. I can take that on to myself.
And here's the thing too, where I think that by and large, most of humanity is good. Despite what we say on this show, I swear to God, I think most people are okay. But the ones that would want to go to such an extreme length to forget something, those were the people that I would want to show the most empathy for. And ones who I would, again, like going into this like psychology background, where I would need to study the most, because we're saying I can go in and selectively take out a memory. But if we have 6 months of therapy leading up to this, then that person could just be lying. And like that, I think, is the scary part, is not being able to read somebody well enough before taking away this memory that they just didn't want.
Right. You would maybe have to set up a process versus like how I was thinking about it is like, oh, just touch your shoulder if you want or whatever. And then I'll be able to get in there and see what's what.
Yeah.
But like you're talking about, and Xavier kind of alluded to this, really making sure that's a choice that you want to make or what you really want to take on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming what most people would want to unload is probably either going to be grief or remorse or trauma.
So trauma, abuse, guilt.
Super heavy emotions that we're going to be taking on.
Yeah.
In addition to what's happened to us in our lives.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to.
You'd have to have the mental fortitude to just handle that overall.
Yeah, yes. I think that would play a big part in it too. So say you have this and then it's just like, you can't handle someone's level of stress or the hurt that they have is more than you thought.
You could take,
and when you take that on, you're just like,
oops.
The toll that takes for you, and however long you have to deal with that. I mean, you relive it. we affect our moods every day on an interaction that happens. If you're perpetually like bombing yourself with the worst kind of stuff, trying to help other people,
Right.
Yeah.
you would really, really be able to have to, self-analyze and be like, am I all right?
Right.
Because this is super heavy. Like I, like you said, Corey, maybe doing it a certain amount of years, but maybe this would be a thing where we would have to space this out days at a time, weeks at a time, and be like, some of this stuff is super, super just hyper aggressive in terms of the level of severity of something.
Yeah, I think going like the altruist route with this would be, good for your soul, but ultimately very hard. So I think going into and leaning into the more individualistic, I'm going to use this for my purposes, would probably be the easier thing to slip into. Like we were saying, like being a triple agent, or just going around and being like a common street thief. Because you could go up to anybody, take their phone, touch them on the shoulder, and now you have their passcode. Now you can get in. You have all of their memories and of their login information and all this other stuff. Like, it's much easier to gain a life that way. Because, I mean, let's say you're caught by the fucking cops, right? You touch them and they don't know who you are.
Why is that guy here?
Yeah.
What?
Why is he in handcuffs? I don't know. Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right.
We're like, oh, sorry, sir.
No, you got the wrong guy.
Shake my hand.
You're going to shake my
hand.
It wasn't me. It was the one-armed man. I know it. The fugitive, the god. But I mean, we've kind of already talked about this, but Xavier, who do you think would benefit the most from having their memories taken away? Like who in this scenario, who do you envision having like it being most beneficial for this to be for you to
have the
have your memories taken away? Yeah.
I think it would be somebody who's working through, if they're going through something. Oh, are you talking about like what individual who would benefit the most from this, having the memories taken away?
Yeah. Like in your mind, you're hearing this conversation right now.
Yeah.
What jumps out to you as like, who would this would benefit the most? A victim of a random act of violence, a victim of a freak accident,
right?
Or somebody who's been through obviously something horrific. But like, what jumps off the page to you about like, oh, this is what I think of when I hear this.
Having something removed like that, yeah. I think what jumps out to me would be maybe a traumatic personal event or a personal attack on somebody.
Right.
Whether
very fearful for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If something bad happens to you like that.
Yeah. Or if it's
to be able to remove that fear from someone would be.
That's what I was thinking. Like if it's something serious where, and maybe not to get too graphic for our audience, but like something where it's something detrimental or personal that is not okay in any moral sense that happens to an individual, that they really just don't want to live with that anymore, or constantly think or relive that emotion, or I mean that memory. Sorry.
Just like what we said, when you're washing dishes and that shit just pops up, you gotta just put it, push it down.
Anything can get triggered,
Yeah,
for sure.
And or maybe benefit people with traumatic like or PTSD, if there's something that's really digging at them.
Yes,
maybe
I was thinking about that myself.
But yeah, I guess to sum up, what I was thinking is just something that would be a very personal but tragic, or not tragic, but like a personal thing that happened to somebody. That's not in any way good. Definitely an invasion of someone's space, or that kind of thing, that they would want to just, I don't want to live that. I don't want to have that memory pop up randomly. I just want it to be gone.
Oh yeah. I think we're all pretty much agreeing on the use for this ability would just be to counteract trauma within other people.
Right.
My one question is to this is, so we're retaining these memories and we're taking them from other people to relive. How, like your first question was like, how much can we take and still be without breaking your own mind? And I'm wondering, like how much could you take from this and have it be like a ship of Theseus thing? It's an idea that we've gone over before, but the ship of Theseus is if you take a ship and you remove all of the planks and nails and you completely disassembled the ship and made a new ship as you were going, is that the same ship? And if you take all of the boards and nails from the original ship and make a brand new ship that's a copy, is it a copy or is it the original? And that's what I'm wondering about, like this kind of ideology is how much can you take from another person while still retaining your core person?
Yeah, that's
how much trauma of others can you personally live with and still like remember the happy times in your own life? Because now you have those instances of rumination. You have those instances where you're thinking back on the fucked up thing that you saw somebody else do and the trauma they inflicted on another person.
Right.
That has been absolved so they could move forward.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this could be a thing where exactly the line of logic that you're using, you would not know what the triggers are going to be for someone else's memory.
Right.
So you could get triggered at any moment and it not even be your memory.
Right.
and have that pop up and
Have that be up. And then in a way, for lack of a better term, could you not, if you're removing things from people that have PTSD or all these traumatic things, could you not yourself give yourself that affliction by having all of this bad happen to you? Could you not have then moving forward in your life be triggered and have this post-traumatic stress disorder for certain things because it's just inherently in your brain now that you've taken this on? Does this not make it to where you would then start having these afflictions because you are experiencing those memories?
Yeah, you'd need your own therapy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You'd have to really have,
because we're talking about it would be the easiest choice in the world if you could take all the bad from somebody and not experience it and just throw it in the trash and nobody has to deal with it. Sure. You're just crumpling it up and tossing. I would do that every day for the rest of my life forever. But the fact that we have to now harbor all those emotions makes it very difficult. Thanks for making us do this, Xavier.
Yeah.
Great job.
I wonder too, if you would be able to discern, like just differentiate, like, oh, this is not my memory. I'm going to try to
that's kind of what
lock it up. Or if it's just like, oh, you took that on and it's just you're reliving it. But I don't know if
what a fascinating idea. Whose lens would you be viewing this memory through? Because it would be in first person.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you would like moving forward. Imagine how many people you would help. I mean, I don't even give a number, but like over that span of time, 250 people maybe, right? So you have 250 people's different way of seeing things because of these interactions that had happened. So who are you anymore?
Yeah, you could really
that would be
yourself.
Even though you're helping people and you're trying to have your own life, it would be extremely isolating because no one would think how you think.
No one could relate to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No one could know what you're going through besides the people that you're taking the memory away from, and then they don't know anymore because you took it.
And they just leave a happy camper. Like, oh, thank you, Doc. Or thank you, whoever.
Right. I'll be a doctor.
Yeah, I have a doctorate in art, so we use that term doctor loosely.
There we go.
We use that term loosely.
You know, it's not loose. These ads, they're tight as
tight as
this is Corey from the Weekly Tall Talk podcast. If you like what you've been hearing, please consider going to patreon.com/TallTaleNetwork and becoming one of our patrons. We'd really appreciate it, and you'd help us get out some content later this year. Thanks.
All right, everybody, we are back from those ads, and we're now on to our last segment. And it's finally time to shine because this is the evil segment.
All right. Hey, this is what we do good at.
This is our forte, if you will. Xavier's been goody two shoes, but most of these terrible things were his idea, so don't let him blame me for everything. The instant confession.
Yeah, as long as he admits to it, we're completely scot-free on this one, Cale.
Yeah, I mean, he was operating without our knowledge because he erased our minds.
Damn. Yep. Classic Xavier.
Oops. Classic. Falling on the sword.
So
I like
you,
that.
Dude.
That is you. You it was freak. It was me. That got me. All right, moving on. Would you commit evil acts or crimes knowing that you can forget said crimes? Ooh. So does this open the door now? Being able to erase our own brains, is the potential there to do kind of unsavory things?
Oh, is that the setup? We're going with the first choice. We can erase our own memories.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll jump around, but I feel like you have more potential to do things yourself if you can forget it.
That's right.
So let's go with the first one for that one. Well, I mean, this is the most evil one, and it's number one, which is only chosen by your golden boy over there.
Yeah.
So, Xavier, what crimes are you trying to commit?
Oh, none. No crimes.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, backpedaling, Corey. We got him. Arrest him.
I got him.
I robbed what? I don't remember doing that.
Yeah. Video surveillance of you. No. That's doctored footage.
I was at home. Come on.
That's not even my haircut.
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
When did I get my haircut?
Damn.
Oops.
No, but too much. No, I mean, it would definitely, I would assume, be easier knowing that you could just be like, oh yeah, I got to do this terrible thing. It'll set me up later, but I won't have to remember that.
True. Yeah, you wouldn't have to remember. I wonder if you could be able to do said, whatever nefarious thing you're thinking of doing, but also erase someone else's mind, or do they have both powers, both abilities?
For this segment, we'll just let you be all powerful, and you can do both. Okay, but your mind's definitely gonna fry.
Yeah,
for this, you're doing double duty now.
You're riding the lightning there.
You goofed up.
So you can erase your own memories, making it harder for you to form short-term memories, and then you can take other people's memories and relive them. Like you're literally just going into the last concept I set up. How much of it is you?
Dude, just not. Yeah, no, I don't think at that point. I don't think anything you're doing. I think you're just. How do you function?
Yeah,
you just end up just dying at that point.
You're a simulacrum of what you would have been.
And is this not the gateway to easily having multiple personality disorder with 100%. Having everybody's different memories? Wouldn't that form you into having different viewpoints on all these things? You could potentially just be different people.
You're just instantly schizophrenic.
You're just a mix of all these different people in one person.
Yeah,
doing evil shit and then forgetting your own evil stuff.
Man, and that would be crazy too, because like the people's lives that you would be reappropriating for yourself, they wouldn't all be the lives of 33-year-olds. They would be the lives of somebody who was in their 70s, somebody who was, in their early teens or whatever. These memories would be all over the place, depending on the ones that you took.
Exactly. That being experiencing views from a woman, experiencing things, childhood trauma. You would. Oh my God! What? No, I don't know. I don't know where to go with that.
Good. I set you up for failure.
Usual. Yes, thank you.
Erase that one from
That's
your
the
memory.
support we have here at the Tall Tale Network. Brotherhood. All walks of life, all different types of cultures, different sexes. I mean, you would really just have a human experience of all seeing things through everybody's eyes, all different types of ways, which would, I mean, make you a very well-rounded criminal.
Mm-hmm.
You can see things from every angle.
Yeah.
That would be kind of wild. I think at some point, I don't know if you could be able to handle all that. You would be an amalgamation, or how's the term? You'd be
An amalgamation.
Of just people, or just different things. I think
Right.
Memories, long
Culmination of just knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, not knowledge, but right. All these memories just mixed into one person is.
Who am I? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how you would differentiate that, or how your brain would store outside information like that.
Yeah,
would be pretty wild to try to figure out. But we're not doctors, so we're going to move right along. Xavier wants to do crime.
Typically.
Let's help him do crime.
Yeah.
What if you commit a crime against somebody, but then you make them forget that you did it? Say you come in, you find you take their memory of their bank vault information, rob the super wealthy, and then you make them forget that they were robbed.
Is it even a crime? I don't think so.
That's the question.
What's
the question? Okay, so we got to know from Corey. What do you think, Xavier? Is that a victimless crime? I mean, they're a victim of you.
I get exactly. Yeah,
but it's not even their money you're taking.
But do you care?
That's true. But do you care? That's where the moral fiber comes down.
Yeah, that's exactly. So you're walking that fine line of being a deviant or
right,
or being on the moral side of things. But yeah, I think it may be victimless to that individual because they have no idea what happened. But you're still robbing them of something, and you're
exactly.
definitely invading their brain space and robbing their brain.
It's like, how are you gonna miss something that you forgot you had?
Exactly. Like, I'm doing you a favor.
Don't be greedy. Did you a favor? Yeah, don't have to worry about it. It's off your plate now.
I robbed you, but now I'm helping you out for forgetting it.
And that's what's great. It's like you could really just skim off the top with this. You don't have to go full hog. Like you can find multimillionaires and billionaires, shake their hand or whatever, and then just skim off the top 1%. 1% of $1 billion is more than I'm willing to calculate. Somebody out there do the math. Now. I'm pretty sure it's easy.
So you'd be taking 1% of the 1%ers.
Yeah, why not?
Damn, I like that.
And again, it's a victimless crime. They're not going to know.
They won't know. They don't look at their own accounts. You kidding me?
Man.
All their shit's in stocks anyways. It's all loans and fucking liquid assets. Don't worry about it.
That reminds me
don't worry about
it. Of Ghost in the Shell. I think it was it was like the second gig, or like the main bad guy's idea was to take like a fraction of a penny from everybody's account throughout the whole world to get all this money.
Yeah, that's the same scheme from Office Space.
That would be great.
There you go.
There we go. The heavy hitters.
But yeah, Corey, what do you think about possible blackmailing people?
Oh, dude, I'm for it.
This guy. Coming out of left field. So, I don't want to commit crimes, but how can we blackmail them? I love it.
Like as in like would I take memories, their most secret memories, and blackmail them?
How would you do that?
I think that's how you'd have to do it.
But they would be like, if you took that memory, they'd be like, I don't remember that.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because I mean we're saying this whole time that you're physically taking a memory. We're not talking about just I'm gonna like just sift through and I can just look at everything. Right. You're taking something. So whatever that most like darkest secret or that most like carefully guarded thing that they have in their brain, you're taking. They're not going to know, and they're going to be like, "I didn't do that."
Yeah, that
never happened. So you're actually unburdening people by trying to blackmail.
You're
helping whoever you're trying to blackmail.
But
this is good blackmailing.
But hold
Positive
on.
blackmail.
Think of the
It's white
setup for this too. You could, oh man, you could make the whole thing performative and set somebody up where like, okay, we'll set up the scenario. You're in a multimillionaire's mansion. You've shot several people dead, and you've told that person, give me all the cash you have, give me all the money, blah blah blah, or I'll get you to. And they do.
Yeah.
And then what you do? You take the gun, you wipe it clean, you give it to them, you wipe their memory of that entire event that just happened, and you say, "What did you do? Oh my god! Oh my god!"
And then you just run away with the bags of money.
Yeah. And they'll never know, and they'll be like, "Oh my god, what did I do?"
Yeah, did
All my
do
servants
this?
are dead.
See, that's what happens. And then Corey becomes known as the Monopoly Maniac.
Ooh, I'm coming for
Mr.
Boardwalk, baby.
Moneybags. Yep. I'm out of here. Battleship.
You'd have to be
No,
really
you
low
definitely
key
could.
about it.
You definitely could frame people super easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Which is not good. I mean, it would be
Wow.
fun.
Well, you asked
it's
us to
not
be
good.
nefarious.
that's true. We're in the
I
nefarious
didn't ask
section.
you guys. You just naturally are that way.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying,
no, no.
just
That's
say
how
it.
this started.
No,
You
no,
can't
no, no,
erase
no.
this.
You already admitted it.
You can't take
Nope.
this memory from me.
You can't take it back. I didn't do this. That's what you.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it. But
Do what you want. Pull the plug.
on the flip side of that, reverse blackmailing.
I'll kill you.
What situation would be beneficial to take yourself out of someone else's memory? I mean, obviously, like if you're doing a rob job, hey, Dad, forget me. But
Yeah.
like in your day to day life, not like not the crime way of one, but like relationships, friendships, stuff at work, something like that. Like what would be beneficial? What would be a good enough reason or a positive of saying, hey, I don't think I need to be in your brain at all anymore. I'm just going to take myself out so you completely forget me. What do you think that would be a beneficial thing, or is that completely like just a self-serving choice?
I think it can be both. It's a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, there's a little part in the middle that both of you benefit from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if there's like to touch on what Corey's saying, it can be a little bit of both. You could definitely be serving yourself because if it's like a bad relationship or bad friendship and or you really mess something up or someone else really messed something up and you're just trying to like, I just want to get away from this. You can use that opportunity to be like, okay, I'm going to pluck myself out of their memory so they won't know who I am. Be perfect. I'll remember what happened. I'll remember who they are and how I relate to them in whatever way, whatever the relationship is.
Yeah.
But I'm just going to be sparing them and also sparing myself because I'll be taking myself out of that situation. So be like, I'm a stranger.
Right. I think you would convince yourself that you were doing a solid because you're like, you're kind of unburdening yourself, right? So you're saying, oh, I'll take myself out of that. I'll take the pain away from them. But I'm a good guy for removing the hurt from their lives. So I'm actually doing this for you.
Also, it's a benefit for both.
Exactly.
Benefit for
And
me.
you're
All right. I'll push back because I think this is probably the most evil thing I've heard out of you guys this episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So
Finally
you're
it's coming
going
out.
to remove yourself from an entire relationship that you had with this person, let's say of 2 years. All right.
Yeah.
They still have
Are we talking about a relationship or a friendship?
friendship, relationship,
Relationship.
whatever, any sort of relationship, a boss, a friend, a partner, it doesn't matter. You are taking yourself out of their memory for the past entire length of your memory. There were other people involved in your relationship.
Yeah, it'd be really funny.
Like you're gonna fuck this person so hard for the rest of their life because they'll have no memory of you, no memory of the good or the bad or the fights or whatever. And all of their friends are gonna be like, how do you not remember Corey being the biggest fucking dipshit we've ever met? And like I got no memory.
It'll be really funny because like they'll just be on their Instagram feed and it's just hundreds of pictures of us together.
Yeah,
you have no idea who this person is. You're like, what in the world is going on?
That would be some top tier devious shit.
Yeah,
I'm
that
here
would be
for
a
it, man.
serious
Fuck
mind
them.
fuck for that person. I guess you'd have to go like,
hey man, if you did enough or it got tumultuous enough to where I'm like, oh, I'll just invade your brain and take it out. Obviously some lines were crossed.
Yeah, but that's still you. That's still your decision to ultimately fuck that person's life up for personal gain,
I
you
will.
psycho.
I'm a revenge.
I am revenge. What if so? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
You'd be like, they were like, how do you? Yeah, exactly. How do you not remember this? It's like
I just don't. I don't
he was
understand.
in my wedding, all this stuff, and you're like, I got no who.
Oh yeah, you'd be like, oh fuck, I really have to wipe everybody's
And then you
minds
run
now.
into those people. How does she not remember you? And then you're just like, boink.
Yep.
You take it from them. I'm just doing a mass brain burn. I'm getting everybody.
That would be tough.
You want to be ultra creepy about it too? You erase
Scorched
yourself
earth.
from a partner's memory or somebody that you've been dating short term that you really like. You erase yourself and then you reinsert yourself. Hey, nice to casually meet you when passing by. Hey, do you also like hiking and dancing? Whoa, me too. That's crazy.
Let me go ahead and let me do a reset on this one.
All right. This is how you renew the spark. You just make them forget everything about you.
Just make them forget.
It'd be like,
Just invade their brain.
it just makes it worse.
Well, guys, I mean, I think I've used all my brain power for this episode, so I'm spent.
We could probably keep
We could
going
keep going on how
on.
evil we could be. Corey tried to be the knight in shining armor, but that's a load of shit.
Yeah, white
So
knights
we're
aren't
gonna
real. Don't trust them.
Yeah, don't trust him. Don't trust your own thoughts, Corey. That's why Xavier wants to erase his.
Dude, that's why you all got to get on that Robitussin vodka kick.
That is the newest thing called forgetting juice.
Dude, you can be Sky Tussin.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Sky.
Write that down. Brand deal
Sky
coming.
vodka.
There it is. There it is.
Brought to you by
Sponsored
Sky
Tussin.
and Robitussin and tequila. And
Damn. Just Long Island's with codeine. We're good.
We're Sky Tussin
fuck.
doing good time.
you say that, Cale, but 100% I would be there.
Yep. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I remember Texas Roadhouse, buddy. Hey, I
Those were
remember.
free.
You may not remember, but I remember.
They were free for me because Xavier paid for them. But we gotta
Damn
end the
it,
show.
he's a good
We can't
man.
get into that. It's fine.
We can't get into that.
Thank you for the codeine and iced tea.
We're fine. Nobody
you're
worry.
very welcome.
Nobody worry. Yeah, we're gonna call it right here, right now. The end of this episode. Hopefully, we didn't hurt your brains too much listening to all of this nonsense.
Yeah, hopefully you didn't think too much about this.
Yeah, don't think about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
I'm
it.
not worried about it. But I am worried about getting our socials out, and I'm gonna go first because I'm the host.
All right.
Oh,
You can find me on Instagram at Talltale Cale with an underscore in between each word and a C instead of a K on Cale, and on TikTok at bearded_giant. We also have our communal accounts at the Weekly Tall Talk on Instagram and the Weekly Tall Talk on TikTok. We post teasers there for each episode. We're getting more involved with social media, so we're excited to make the jump and do more things, try it out, and get the word out a little bit more. But we also need to hear from Corey. Where can they hunt you down?
Well, if you want to hunt me down with your spears and bows, you can find me on Instagram, the only social media platform I am on, at Corey.Andre, Corey.Ondrey. I'm also very excited to share our YouTube at the Weekly Tall Talk. We've been gaining some traction there. We've been gaining some subscribers doing our live shows every other Wednesday of the. So we try and do 2 live shows a week on YouTube around 8:30 on Wednesdays. So if you want to join us for that, we also answer questions and have a dialogue and a back and forth with anybody who joins during our live shows. So go to youtube.com and look for the Weekly Tall Talk there. Xavier, what do you got to say for us, bud?
Yeah, you can find us. We have a Patreon if you guys are interested, and feel free to join us there at patreon.com/Talltale Network. You can support us, throw us a couple bucks and check out what we have coming out down the line. Some interesting projects we're working on. And then also, you can join our Discord there as well. And if you have any other questions, you can email us at talltalenetwork@gmail.com, and we will tall tale you all later.